Salute, my peopleization. Adrian Cole, Kondo, Sammy Hassan. Salute. I'm a little late today because YouTube was having issues. Steve J, Hardbody J Timo, Phil J 508, Mike Lawson, Muhammad Arif, Jose Diaz, Curtis Johnson, NBA D Nice, Mr. Drick Joe, Javier Rivera, Bumpy Thompson, Stedman Paget, Big Zoe, Ahmad is Ahmad, Addis Y Mac, James Gaskin, Arel, Big Brother in Life, Jerry 216 Robinson, DeAndre Carey, Chilltown Majors, Boxing Logic. Salute, my peoples. Kieran Alexis, 88 Sports Talk, Underground Asylum, Vado Newton, salute. Malcolm Emmanuel, salute. Mike Lawson, salute. Yeah, we're gonna talk, man. It's fight week for Jermell and Jermall Charlo. Boxing Dad, Box Conversation, my brother Reggie Owens. Salute. Dennis Couch. Go subscribe to my brother Box Conversation, Reggie Owens. Dennis Couch. Fanboys Tunes, Corey Allen, Tex Rock, salute. Jamil Allen, salute. Chris Jett. Domingo 101. Shogun 76. Big Zoe. Stephen Gant. G Al, what's good with your big homie? How you feeling, G Al? G5_Gay, my brother, salute. Mr. Shelton, salute. Ron Gibson Jr., salute. Yeah, man. Retro for Life, 79 Boxing, salute. Yeah, man, get the likes up. Craig Rogers, Keith Green, salute. CJ Squad, John Lejean, salute. Slick Sophistication, salute. Smash the like button, my peoples. Smash that like button, man. I got a late start, man. Anthony Williams, salute. Got a lot going on right now, so pardon me for starting so late. Demetrius Hogg, Hubble Telescope, salute. I think I'm going to send a link to my brother, Mickey Bay. See what he's doing. Trainer of D. Hodges. Salute. Yeah, looks like it's done deal for Devin Haney and URIORKIS Gamboa. Donzel X's. Salute. Don Hafiz. Salute. That's what's being reported, that they came to an agreement. And, yeah, it's going down. Right? Smash the like button. Let's get the likes all the way up. Caddy P's 504. Salute. Manuel Momo. Salute. Yeah. Eddie Munster 22. Salute. Yeah, Adrian Cole. Salute. That's what's being reported. IML Will, my brother. Salute. Go subscribe to my brother IML Will. Moped Mosley. Dapper Douglas. Salute. Smash the like button, my people. I don't know why I feel so low, man. The streamer, salute. Andre Jefferson, salute. Lot for Canton 10, salute. You a bad warm Wizzo, salute. I just hit up my brother Mickey Bay, see if he wanted to jump on. Gilbert Rodriguez Jr., my brother, salute. Hard Body J Timo, my brother in the super chat, salute, Blue. A little off subject, and I never mentioned, but I'm a natural pro bodybuilder. I can compete in my 6 pro show. Oh, salute to you. Send me your info. Eli Zachary, salute. Hazara Bros, salute. I'm going to see if we can get my brother Mickey Bay on. Tay Brown, peace and blessings, Queen. Oh, you did? And I didn't even see it? Send me one right now. J Everything, salute. Send me a message right now. D Hodges, salute. D-Mo the Don, salute. I'm hungry, man. My brother LaRon Reviews in the building. What's good with you, Ron? Go subscribe to my brother LaRon Reviews. M. Dillian, salute. Tay, I'm eating these rice cakes. Got you, King. I'm gonna check it now. Marcus Priest, Moped Mosley, salute. Pardon me for being late, man. He say he stay eating the rice cakes. Let me find out you got to deal with them. Ron, they low in calories, man. It just works for me. Cutlass Styling, Colt, salute. Renee Box Young, what's good? Dre Day. Pelman Hurtado said, Virgil Ortiz is the Canelo 147. Yeah, I don't see that. My brother Keon, Everything Boxing and Sports, salute. Go subscribe to my brother Keon. Everything Boxing and Sports. Mr. Pazar, salute. Randy Ridley, salute. I'm not Israel, salute. Nicholas McDowell, salute. Robert Singleton, David the Real Thomas, salute. Jimmy Bernard, Robert Singleton. What's good? Lorenzo Mose, salute. Khalil Smith, salute. Mike Smith, Andres Kiani, salute. I am ill will, my brother in the super chat. I'm munching on some sour cream and cheddar Lays while I'm working from home. Salute to you and the LDBC. Y'all go sub. Okay, bye. LOL. Salute, Ken. Brothers UK, salute. R. Jonesy, salute. Peace and blessings to the Queen, Dahlia Internet in the building. What's good with you, Queen? Victor Toron, salute. Y'all know I can't help it, man. I can't help it. Jackson, salute. So, yeah. Moni, what's good with you, King? Chantel Hill, salute. Jose Diaz, salute. Hubble Telescope. Wait, baby. I'm on a lot of things. Open this up. Pull it out. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Baby, stay there. I'm on my live stream. Hold up, y'all. What's up, baby girl? I'm on my live stream.
Oh, what's that?
I'll call you when I get off, okay?
Okay.
Where you at? Okay.
Okay.
Okay, baby. I'll call you as soon as I'm done.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Daddy, he's coming, guess?
I'll see. So enough, Peter. Salute. Daddy duty. Never stop, man. One telling me to get her dressed, the other one calling me to pick her up. Never ends. D-Man Jr., Super Mac Time. Salute. King Vonnie, 86. Salute. Yeah, smash the like button, man. 230 people. Let's get 230 likes. For your entertainment. Salute. Jeffrey Lopez. Salute. So, Jay Dixon, salute. Alfred Yashirala, salute. So it's being reported that Devin Haney and YURIORKIS Gamboa came to agreement to fight November 7th. So that's what they're reporting, right? Yeah, G5_ Gay Man, never end. Fly High 89, Lil Scrappy, what's good with you, King? Jermaine Durant, salute. Yeah, man, that dude, salute. So you get one daughter telling me to get her dressed. The other one said, can I pick her up? Steve J, salute. So let's get into this. It's fight week. Jermell and Jermall Charlo. Fight week. Renee, you want to jump on? Keon, you want to jump on? Godson, salute. Dr. Papo's flag, salute. Anthony Young, salute. So, Money, salute. Carlton Wright, salute. You know, I can't even do wrenches in this format, man. All right, send the link, Keon. Renee, I sent the link. William Barrett, salute. So, now we have this ongoing saga. Ratchet since 91, Brooklyn Walker, Tim TV 212, salute. Town Bears, salute. Brooklyn Walker, Young Merv the Cutman, Red Eye, salute. Aaron Juden, salute. PGH Big Dog, salute. So, I'm hungry, pardon me, y'all. So anyway, let's get into it. My brother Keon in the building. Everything boxing and sports. What's good with you, Kay?
So what's going on with it, Blue?
Same old, man. And Yan, why?
Man, we got a big weekend coming up.
Huge, King. Huge, right? David Bohannon, salute.
We've been waiting for this for a long time.
Yeah, man. I can, sometimes, man, the days come up on us quick, but when it's announced, it feel like it's forever, right? It feel like it take forever to come through.
Right, exactly.
Andrew Thomas, Money, salute. Go ahead, King.
Because we've been without big boxing for so long.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was just saying we've been without the big boxing for so long. We've been talking about it, but we haven't had no big time boxing for so long.
Yep. How you think this pay-per-view event gonna look with no fans?
Man, that's a good question. It's when you think about it, it's like I'm thinking the same thing you thinking. Like, how is it gonna look? We've never seen nothing like this. But I think as the fights go on and we as fans get in tune to it, I don't even think we're gonna even pay attention to no fans being in the arena, because I mean, if it's a good fight and you focused on it and you into it, like you're not thinking about what's going on, that all you thinking about is the fight. Because I notice a lot of these fights that I watch, when they real interesting, I forget that there's no fans in the arena. So yeah, I don't. Once we, once it catches our attention, and once if they giving us good fights, I don't think that as us as fans, I don't even think that we're gonna even pay attention to it.
Yeah, I don't really feel it when I'm watching it.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the fighters, I don't know, as far as the fighters, because some fighters, they get juice off of that, they get energy off the crowd.
Right. And the thing that gets me, like those fights, the fights we've been watching are not pay-per-view. They just regular fights. Right?
Exactly.
Salute to Edward Dorch in the super chat. He said, Blue, what's good, King? Salute to you, King. DB, William Barrett, salute. Blood Gang, salute. Aaron Juten, salute. I'm bringing in Renee.
Okay.
Why is it telling me this?
If I'm a fighter and I'm starring in my first pay-per-view and I don't have no fans, that's kind of like, that shit kind of suck for the fighters though. Because, as a fighter, that's what you looking forward to coming out, looking at that big crowd and all of that. Just like, remember the first Wilder fight, he said he was like amazed. He said when he came out, and he looked around the Staples Center and seen the crowd and everything, as a fighter, that's what you dream about.
Exactly. And it's ironic, right? Because Renee is telling me that your camera and your mic is not connected. Trying to bring you in, but it say your camera and your mic is not connected. It's funny, right? Because it's the Charlo's first pay-per-view and Tank first pay-per-view. No fans.
Right.
Errol did it already. He did it twice.
Shit, he might. By the time, go ahead, Blue.
Go ahead, Ken.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, by the time Errol and Danny fight, shit, they might have fans, to some capacity. I think that's why they tried to hold it all the way out until late November.
Sherman Bray, D-Man Jr., salute. Picasso, salute. Marcos Cano, my brother, salute. Marcos Cano, salute to you. I appreciate you in the Cash App, man. Appreciate you. Mass Arms, salute. Smash the like button, man. We got 340 people. We should have 340 likes. Smash the like button. Get the likes all the way up. 300. Now we got 355. We should have 355 likes. Almond Beat, salute. So, yeah, man, it's just, nothing is like your first time experiencing something, right? And their first time experience it is going to be with no fans. They done got to this level, and they're not going to feel the same energy. David Bohannon, salute. What's good with you? Right? My brother Bish, B Megastar, salute. Exactly. My brother Bish says it's like semi-pro game. Yeah. But at least in semi-pro, right, we have some fans. Geo James Khalil, 98, salute. We have some fans. Chef Boyardee, salute. Right? Big Dose 513, Rich Robinson, salute. We have some fans. Like, to have your first pay-per-view event, walk out there, and no fans? Danny Webb, salute. You're not going to get the full. I think they should have held off on all pay-per-view. Because you just, I feel like you're missing out. Like, that's your first experience, and you're not going to get the full experience. But then on the flip side, Kurt Jordan, salute. Adili Ascari, MMB, salute. Danny Webb, salute. Picasso, salute. On the flip side of that, we want the big fights. You know what I'm saying? And these big fights, I guess at the same time, you got to look at it like you're sitting at home. What better way than to get the people to pay for pay-per-view? But I don't know. I guess walking in the arena, you don't really feel it that it's pay-per-view. But the build-up is what you miss out on, right? Because George Holland, salute. Because when you actually walk into the arena, there's no difference than, a regular crowd if it's pay-per-view or not. It's just the build-up is different, right? So I guess, that's the difference.
Even the entrances, though, the shows that a lot of these fighters put on, just the entrances. We gon', that's a big part of a mega fight. Fans is even looking like, okay, what how they gonna come out, how they gonna enter the ring,
Exactly. Salute my brother Gilbert Rodriguez Jr. Salute. We got my brother Renee Young in the building. Renee Box Young. And we got my brother, my co-host, my brother, the historian, Kurt, a.k.a. Kurt Sugar. Kurt Anderson in the building. What's good, Renee? What's good, Kurt?
Blue, what's good with you, man? What's up, Renee? What's up, Keon, man? What's up, chat? How's everybody?
Good.
What's going on?
Salute, family.
Y'all.
I started super late, man, because I got so much going on, man.
It's all good.
But, you know, we got some news, man. I want to get all your opinion. I want to start with Kurt. The reports is that Devin Haney, YURIORKIS Gamboa is done for November 7th. So that means pretty much Gary Russell fight is out the window unless something changes. But, you know, what's your thoughts on that? Let's start with Kurt.
Well, on another stream, I said this was going to happen. I knew they weren't going to fight. When you put together a young fighter that has a lot of promise and an experienced fighter, you don't really get those kind of fights today like you did yesteryear. I don't mind because a fight like that needs to be built up. They're going to fight next year if they both win, if Haney beats Gamboa. And I think Russell got a fight coming up as well. We probably hear about it, you know, in the very near future. But I kind of figured, and I had a feeling in the pit of my stomach that they was going to fight other people, and I could see them fighting in the first quarter of 2021. And those fights can be very tricky. Haney, if Gamboa brings anything to the table because he has experience, and Haney still makes mistakes because he's young, it's natural. You know, he's still learning. So fighting an experienced guy can be tricky sometimes. And this is boxing. Anything can happen. Now, I think he's going to win, but you just never know. Anything can happen. So I'm looking forward to it. I want to see how he responds to an experienced fighter who has some pop and some speed. I want to see is he acclimated to fighting another guy with speed like his.
Hey, Exposaholic, the fight has not been done. When you say Chuck Field, salute. When you say Maurice McElroy, salute. Jupiter B, salute. When you saying that the fight has been done, J.A. Dixon, salute. George Holland, salute. The fight has not been done. Psalms of the Time, CVHU, salute. Truck Driver Gamer, salute. I know that for a fact. It was not done. So stop saying that it was done. I know it for a fact it was not done. It just got done. Randy Caldwell Sr., salute. It just got done. Frequent Fire RC, salute. It has not been done for a long time and all that. No, it has not. That's false. And he secured a date of November 7th without an opponent. But go ahead, Renee.
Yeah, just the question is, what are my thoughts on Haney versus Gamboa, right?
Yes.
You know, Gamboa right now, I think he's around 38 years old, right? We've seen it, right? He fought Bud Crawford, you know, nice performance, pretty good performance, actually. Nice war against Bud Crawford. That was back in what, 2014, something like that? I mean, you're talking about 6 years ago, right? And we all saw what happened with Gervonta Davis, right? You know, whatever it is with his Achilles heel or something like that. I mean, I don't think Gamboa is in his prime anymore. It's going to be a nice fight, though. I mean, I'm happy, but I guess I could say I'm glad about it. I'm content about it. I wouldn't say I'm excited about it, but I mean, I think it's a fight to watch. You know what I'm saying? I am disappointed, I think, as a lot of us are, that we're not going to see Haney versus Russell. I was really, really hoping for that. You know, the buildup was crazy, man. I mean, y'all saw, yesterday, Blue Blood, man, great input that you put yesterday when you were on Drew Titan. Salute to Drew Titan. Salute to, you know, Bill Haney, all those who were there. 78 jumped up on in there. And I agree with you, Blue Blood, on this whole thing that's going on. You know, your input, I definitely agree on with. And, you know, that's why I'm disappointed, you know, just it's too much back and forth, too much this and that. It really served, even though it was annoying to me, it was getting to the point of being frustrating to seeing so much of it. Just get the fight down, man. I mean, it did serve to a certain extent as a buildup, you know, and if had they fought September 7th. You know, it's set. Finally, it's sealed. Oh, I would have been super excited, man. But unfortunately, that's why I'm saying, just to exhaustively explain that, I'm quite disappointed, man, that Haney and Russell. But like Curtis said, man, I'm sure, you know, they'll be fighting soon. Hopefully early 2021. I'm definitely going for Haney, man. I'm definitely going for Devin Haney. But you know, Gary Russell ain't no pushover, so it's going to be a great fight. So concerning Gamboa, you know, like I said, I'm not too content about it, but I mean, it's something to watch. It's something to watch. You know, I personally think Haney will beat Gamboa, not by knockout, but I think he'll box him out nicely. I don't think Gamboa has, you know, the same, you know, prime energy, prime power that he had years ago when he fought Bud Crawford. I mean, that was a war, man. That was crazy. But you know, so it's a fight. You know what I'm saying? November 7th. It's nice, but obviously people are going to be criticizing. Excuse me. People may criticize Haney by fighting a Gamboa. I'm not though. But it's something to watch. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be saying, "Oh no, but Tank, you know, I mean, you know, Gamboa is washed up and this and that." I mean, I wouldn't say he's washed up, but I do think he's out of his prime. He's 38, I think, and you know, it is what it is. It's something to watch. You know, it's cool. And like you said, Blue Blood. You know, I don't want to get off topic, but you said it's fight week. Earlier, I went live today talking about some box talk, some news. You know, and I totally forgot the Charlos are fighting this weekend. I forgot. Because the thing here is that what I do, this is a strategy for all you guys. Maybe it'll help. You know, I think Everything Boxing kind of said it right now. You know, when there's a big fight announcement, when there's a big, you know, matchup that we want to see, and it's months down the line, and it's official, you know, time goes slow, and it's like, man, I want to fight already. What I do is I just forget about it. I try to forget about it. I try to forget about the dates. And that's exactly what I did. I forgot about the Charlo dates. I thought they were going to fight in October, November or something. I didn't even have the dates in mind. And what happened today, news popped up, fight week. Heck yeah. So, I mean, I'm excited about it for this weekend. But, you know, as far as Gamboa and Devin, yeah, it's going to be something to watch.
Yeah, I agree, man. Salute to my brother G. Al. Drop that hundo, drop the yard on your boy Blue, man. Everybody salute my brother G. Al. In the super chat, dropped the hundo on your boy Blue, man. He said Gary Russell pulled a publicity stunt, and I believe he never really wanted to fight. Gary has been known to accuse his inactivity due to fighters not wanting to fight him. We see that with Devin. This is clearly not the case. Salute to my brother G. Al in the building, man. So yeah, man. I before we get to my brother Keon and his opinion on this, and Keon, I want you to break down the fight to us. Don't go in too depth because we're gonna go do it throughout the show. But I want you to touch on Gamboa's injury. But before we get to that, man, you know, I see a lot of people automatically saying, "Well, he never wanted to fight, so on and such, or he was negotiating." People, before this even rolls with Gary Russell, he had the date of November 7th already set. Gary Russell had a date of December 26th already set. So they both had dates already secured, right? When Jorge Linares and Javier Fortuna was set to fight, Devin Haney wanted Javier Fortuna. Miraculously, Javier Fortuna chose to fight. Now we forget that Javier Fortuna was Devin Haney's mandatory. Let's not forget that. After the injury, Devin Haney still hasn't fought since his shoulder injury. Keep that in mind. After the shoulder, but prior to the shoulder injury, he was supposed to fight Javier Fortuna. Then he had the shoulder injury. Let's just go down memory lane real quick before my brother Keon cook. But he was supposed to fight Javier Fortuna. He had the shoulder injury. WBC decided to subtract the belt from him. They had Luke Campbell and Javier Fortuna fighting for the vacant WBC title with Devin Haney fighting the winner. Then, due to the circumstances and time after his shoulder injury and it healed, he was able to gain the WBC title without stepping back through the ropes. He has yet to have a fight since having his shoulder injury. Okay? Then he was supposed to fight Javier Fortuna. I don't know what happened, but Luke Campbell and Javier Fortuna didn't come to fruition. Then we had Javier Fortuna going to fight Jorge Linares and Luke Campbell fighting Ryan Garcia. Okay? So now Jorge Linares gets injured. Devin Haney says, I'll replace Jorge Linares to fight Fortuna. I know this personally because I know people on Javier Fortuna's team. and they said that they weren't willing to fight Devin Haney on short notice. So they turned down Devin Haney. So when y'all saying that he had a date set to fight Gamboa, that is not true. He offered his services to replace Jorge Linares as Fortuna's opponent, who was his mandatory, right? And they turned him down and said they'd rather sit and wait for Jorge Linares. Okay? So Devin Haney said, okay, no problem. This is before the Gary Russell saga even began. Then we had Gary Russell after that. He starts negotiating with Gamboa. Let's not forget, this was all prior to the Gary Russell saga. He started negotiating. So when y'all saying he was already negotiating with Gamboa, yes, before this even arose, before Gary Russell even offered his services to fight Terrence Crawford, before that saga even started. Go back and do your research. How soon we forget Gamboa and Devin Haney were in negotiations before the entire Terrence Crawford, Gary Russell situation. So why y'all acting like this is something new to y'all? No, that was already in the works. But once again, Devin Haney said, okay, no problem. Gary Russell want to fight. Let's start negotiating with Gary Russell. It didn't come to fruition. Now he's going with Gamboa. So this just let y'all know Gamboa was not plan A. He was plan C. He wasn't even plan B because Javier Fortuna was plan B. Then he offers his services to Luke Campbell and Ryan Garcia. They decide to fight each other. So please stop with the acting like this dude was just always looking to fight Gamboa. That wasn't the plan at all. Go ahead, my brother Keon. Pardon me.
Oh yeah. So as far as what do I think about the Gamboa and Devin Haney fight? I mean, it's not a fight that when I hear that Gamboa and Devin Haney's fighting, it's not a fight that I'm, excited about. But I mean, it's a fight. And going back to what Kurt said, on the Devin Haney and the Russell fight, it's crazy because I said the exact thing on I think it was my platform or somebody else's platform. I had talked about it. And I already had said that I didn't think that the fight was going to happen right now.
Hey, hold that thought too, because one more thing I forgot to mention.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So then, on top of that, right? I forgot to mention. There's a part of me for interrupting you. But then on top of that, let's think about it, right? Javier Fortuna didn't want to fight Devin Haney, but now he's going to fight Gary Russell for the mandatory spot to fight Devin Haney. Somebody, please make that make sense to me. Please, so now he's going to fight Gary Russell to be the mandatory for Devin Haney instead of just fighting Devin Haney. But go ahead, Keon.
Yeah, so no, what I was saying is that I'm not surprised that the Devin Haney Gary Russell fight didn't happen right now. I had said it before that I didn't think the fight was going to happen right now. I just didn't, after everything played out how it was playing out in the business side and whatnot, I didn't think the fight was going to happen right now. I said that I thought that they're gonna that Devin Haney was gonna end up fighting Gamboa, so that's not a surprise. And I said that that Gary Russell was gonna end up fighting Javier Fortuna, and I thought that they would face each other, down the line. I'm looking for Gary Russell to go out and do his thing against Javier Fortuna and become the mandatory. By that time, that fight is gonna be much bigger with Devin Haney and Gary Russell, because we're talking about it now, but now the story is there, between both of the camps. And I think the fight is going to be that much bigger and they will eventually fight. It's just not going to happen right now. As far as Devin Haney fighting Gamboa, this is my take on that, on this. Devin Haney, like you were saying, Blue, Devin Haney, he wasn't, petitioning to fight Gamboa off the bat. It was the other guys he wanted to fight, but they decided not to fight him. I don't think that Gamboa fight is a bad fight for Devin Haney because, like you said, Devin Haney has had shoulder surgery, right? Devin Haney hasn't had a fight since he had the shoulder surgery. So if I'm, advising Devin Haney's career, and this is me, I'm not going to put him in there with a Gary Russell Jr. right off the bat. And I know Devin Haney wants to fight Gary Russell. Bill Haney, he cool with Devin Haney fighting Gary Russell. But I'm just saying, I would rather put him in there with Gamboa coming off an injury like that. Due to the fact is, Gamboa, he can be a threat, but we all know that Gamboa is nowhere near his prime anymore. Gamboa is also coming off an injury. So that even, that's a lot better for Devin Haney. Gamboa is also coming off an injury. He hasn't fought since his injury. We know Gamboa doesn't have the strongest chin, so it's a good comeback fight for Devin Haney. It's a good comeback fight. If you asking me, Gary Russell is proven. He's not proven at 135, so we don't know how good Gary Russell can be at 135. But if I'm looking at this fight, right, and I'm behind Gary Russell and Devin Haney, I'm looking at this fight like this. Okay, we know how good Gary Russell is at 126. If Gary Russell can be as good at 135 as he is at 126, why would I put him in there right away with Devin Haney off of injury? And I'm not saying Devin Haney's not capable of beating Gary Russell, and I'm not saying Gary Russell's not capable of beating Devin Haney. I'm just saying that if I'm advising Devin Haney, I like to fight. Give me a second. Sorry about that. If I'm advising Devin Haney, I like to fight, a comeback fight off of injury. I like to fight against Gamboa a lot more, and then we can see, how he does with his, how he's doing in the ring, in a real fight, because I know he's been training and sparring, but still, that's not a real fight, and we can see how he does against Gamboa. I'm looking for him to look great against Gamboa. I'm looking for him to stop Gamboa, and then go on and fight Gary Russell. And as far as Gary Russell and Fortuna, that's not an easy fight for Gary Russell either. We're gonna we're really gonna be able to see how how good Gary Russell is at 135. In his first fight at 135, because we all know Javier Fortuna, he don't got all the skills in the world, but he rough and rugged, and he gonna fight you dirty, and he gonna do anything he can to win. He gonna press you and all of that. But I'm looking for Gary Russell. His skills is just too much for Javier Fortuna, and we all want to see the Russell Devin Haney fight right now, but hey, I think it's better for both fighters, down the line, taking me as a fan out of this. Just, the two fighters, I think it's better for them down the line to make a fight, because I think it's going to be a lot bigger. And I think much more fans are going to be able to catch on to it,
Fact. I agree with you. And I see people continuing to say this. The brother said that there's been done 2 weeks ago, and it was on Fanon's channel that Bill said it was done 2 weeks ago. No, it wasn't done 2 weeks ago, and I could bet you, and I could put up something up against that, because see, this is what y'all feel or realize. I know people on Gary Russell's side as well. It wasn't done. Trust me. Gary Russell's, YURIORKIS Gamboa. I know people on YURIORKIS Gamboa's side. It wasn't done. Because guess what? YURIORKIS Gamboa has counter offers as well. R.S. Cooper 23, salute. That's a fact. Winston Lee, salute. YURIORKIS Gamboa has counter offers as well. What you think? He's just sitting in the y'all think y'all Skinny Hardaway, salute. Y'all acting like Gamboa is just sitting in the wings. No, he has demands as well. And guess what? Guy needs fire. Salute. He wasn't just sitting on his hands. He wasn't just sitting on his hands. And as far as him negotiating with Devin Haney, he was negotiating with Devin Haney before the saga with Gary Russell and Terrence Crawford even began. Before the saga with Gary Russell and Devin Haney even began. They were negotiating with Gamboa. So why? So what are y'all talking about? Devin Blocker, salute. A17 Boston B, salute. So y'all say, oh, he was negotiating. He was already negotiating before you even thought about Devin Haney and Gary Russell. Yeah, and you knew that. We knew this already. He was negotiating with Gamboa before Gary Russell even went on Barbershop Conversations when this saga began. So why y'all acting like this is a surprise? This was already in the works. OG Eric in St. Louis, salute. So now we know both of them had injuries, Kurt, right? Gamboa's Achilles. Man, that's one of the worst injuries you could suffer as a professional athlete. Achilles injury. ACL, and neither one is the lesser two evils, right? But ACL, you know, as a professional athlete, is much easier to come back from. Pete, pound for pound boxing channel, salute. It's much easier to come back from these days with today's technology and science than that Achilles, man. When you pop the Achilles, it seemed like it takes away all your athletic ability, all your lateral movement, right? But again, Devin Haney had, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was his right shoulder, right? And he's an orthodox fighter. So it was his right shoulder that he had the shoulder surgery on. Jack Thurr, salute. And he hasn't been in the ring since then. So that's another thing, right? Lawrence Williams, my brother, salute. That's another thing. Like, we forget. There you go, Renee. We forget Romero Harris, salute. We forget that, you know, Devin Haney, 21 years old, coming off of shoulder surgery and has not been in the ring. He has not been in the ring. But yet he don't mind fighting the best of the best. King Poppy, salute. When you have these types of injuries, most people advise you, like Keith Thurman, to take not A-level fighters, not B-level fighters, but maybe B- fighters, right? Maybe not B+. Like Keith Thurman for Josito Lopez. And smash the like button. We got 550 people. We should have 550 likes. We should have 550 likes. Smash the like button. So, you know, Kurt, what do you think? We got two injured fighters that haven't been in the ring. One is aging, obviously, at 38, and the other one have youth on his side. But they still both haven't tested out these injuries yet. They don't know how you're gonna respond. What's your thoughts, Kurt?
Yeah, well, it's tough for a basketball player, football player to come off of injuries like an Achilles or shoulder injury. And you're a fighter, so it's worst for a fighter because, you know, it takes shoulders to put, you know, it takes shoulders to punch with a certain type of technique. And on Achilles with Gamboa, that's like a year, you know, and the rust added on to that. So it's really tough because you don't know how they're going to perform in the ring. You see how Erickson Lubin, how flat he was against Goucher this past Saturday. You know, some people said it has something to do with rust. I always believe a fighter should stay active, and plus the injury. So you don't know. So maybe it's a good thing that Haney is not fighting Russell. And no fighter is a walkover. If it happens to play out like that against Gamboa, then so be it. But Gamboa had experience. But they both have injuries, so you don't know. So it's uncertainty that's going to throw interest in that fight because Haney's still young. He hasn't been in the ring with nobody close to Gamboa. You know, and that's what you do. It's not his fault. That's what you do with young fighters. You build them up, you know, their opponents, and you want to see where he's at. You throw him out in the pool, see if he's going to sink or swim. Gamboa, being experienced, can be dangerous. He's not the same, but he can be dangerous. So, you know, I can't, you know, I think Haney's going to win, but it's a lot of, when I don't get a certain feeling about a fight, then it really becomes interesting to me. Because usually I'm pretty good at predicting or breakdowns, whatever, but I don't know how good Haney still is. I don't know what's going to happen when he beat Gamboa. I don't know about the injuries to both fighters. So this fighter has this fight has interest November 7th because there's a lot of questions that need to be answered.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. General Squall, salute. What's your thoughts, Renee?
You know, it's true. Yeah, I think Curtis got out quick. It's true that, you know, once you go back to the Achilles injury that Gamboa had, with that injury that he had, when did he get that injury? Round 3 against Tank? Was it round 3?
Yeah, I think it was round 2 or 3.
Yeah, it was early in the fight, very early. And I mean, now that I reflect upon it, you know, Gamboa, it's gonna be a good. I think he's gonna put up a good fight because, you know, considering that, going back to the Tank Davis fight, round 2, round 3, very early in the fight, he had the injury, and he lasted the rest of the fight, man. I mean, he lasted a lot of rounds with the injury. So that tells us what's up.
With the explosive boxer on top of it.
Exactly. So, I mean, Gamboa got skills, taking nothing away from that. You know, he has skills, he still has power. I mean, considering that injury, he went all those rounds, he has heart, you know, like Curtis was saying. I mean, he's a veteran. So, you know, the more that I think about it, I mean, I'm still not too like excited about it, but it's going to be very interesting because it totally blocked my mind that I wasn't really thinking about it. That's why it's great to collaborate with you guys and talk, you know, that it passed my mind that Devin Haney also had a injury in the shoulder, surgery. So we'll see, man, if that doesn't affect him. I mean, it kind of reminds me of, you know, Pacquiao when he fought Mayweather. According to Pacquiao, he said, yeah, you know, had shoulder problems and stuff like that during the fight, which is why he had a hard time against Mayweather. But I hope that doesn't happen in this fight because who knows, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to surgeries and things of that nature, you know, something can happen during the fight where, you know, the performed surgery was given and whatever body part it was, you know, it can cause problems. So, I mean, that's an interesting aspect, you know what I mean? And I do, you know, that sticks out to me a lot is the Achilles injury and how Gamboa lasted all those rounds against the Tank Davis. I mean, we're not talking about any, you know, just any other fighter. I mean, yes, we know that Tank Davis, you know, he missed weight. He was overweight. He wasn't in the best shape, which is why he got quite criticized. You know, after that, I criticized it, you know what I'm saying? Because I love Tank and I really want to see the best out of him. You know what I mean? And he himself admitted it, that it was his fault, you know, and he wasn't the best in shape. I think we can all admit that. Seems like he was getting a little bit gassed out towards the, you know, around the middle of the fight, towards the end of the fight. But he did a great performance. I mean, Tank Davis, I mean, he did a good performance against Gamboa. But considering Gamboa lasting what he lasted against Tank Davis, against the power of a Tank Davis, you know, I don't think Devin Haney, I mean, you look at it at this angle too. I don't think Devin Haney has the power of a Tank Davis. I mean, that's another controversial thing we got to consider. You know, I don't think Haney, you know, I remember this time and time again when he was on Showbox, when Devin Haney was coming up, when he was a prospect. I wouldn't consider him really a prospect because he's a champ now. I mean, he has the belt. So, you know, back when he was a prospect, when he would fight in Showbox, you know, or when he would fight in Mexico, sometimes you would hear commentators say that he still doesn't have that manpower. He still doesn't have that power in his punch. You know what I'm saying? He has a technique, he has a skill, he has the fundamentals, et cetera, et cetera. We all know that. But I would hear it, you know, I would hear it. It wouldn't be out of the ordinary to hear a commentator say that, you know, Devin Haney is still developing in his power. So, you know, having said that, I don't know. I don't think he can take, you know, knock out a Gamboa. I just don't think so because, like I said, you go back to the Tank Davis fight, you know, Gamboa was taking those punches pretty well with an injury, an Achilles injury. So, I mean, that says a lot. That speaks volumes. I don't think, you know, it's going to be a good fight, man. It's going to get, I think Devin's going to win. You know, I'm leaning towards Devin, but then again, we cannot discard Gamboa, man.
Absolutely. Salute to my brother Lamar Davis in the super chat. He said, "Peace, Kings. Any thoughts on Jalil Hackett post on IG sticking up for DC and asking Devin to spar? And how do you feel about Jalil overall?" Well, Jalil Hackett and Gary Russell Jr. are like family, So I'm not surprised. And him wanting to spar Devin Haney, I'm sure Devin Haney won't turn that down. But we'll get to that. Let's keep a mental note of that, fellas. So I love Jalil Hackett. I love what he brings to the table. And Gary Russell is like his uncle. Their fathers was close at one point. So I'm not surprised. Jalil Hackett got all the goods. All the goods. They say he's up next. So, and there's a lot of fighters on deck, like Keyshawn Davis. You know what I'm saying? Like Jalen Walker, like we had on the other day. So there's a lot of fighters on deck. But Jalil Hackett is pegged as that dude, man. So we got to see. But peace and bless to the Queen, Dahlia Antoinette, in the super chat. She said, Blue, the king of these YouTube streets. Blessings upon blessings. Keep spitting the facts. Peace and blessings to you, Queen. I appreciate you. And salute to my brother Keon, everything boxing and sports, on the panel and in the super chat. Salute to my brother Keon. He's go subscribe to everything boxing and sports. Go subscribe to my brother Keon, man. Blessings to you, Keon. I appreciate you. Reese Joe, Unlimited LLC. Salute. Go ahead, Keon. You there, King? Main event, Mark, my brother.
My bad.
No
bad.
problem.
I was on mute.
No problem.
No, as far as I was saying, it is for the Devin Haney Gamboa fight. Devin Haney's he a young bull, so I don't think that injury is gonna affect Devin Haney like that at all. That's why Devin Haney is down to fight anybody coming off an injury. When you young like he is, you got to have certain people hold you back. When you young like that, you gotta, because when you get older, you get an injury, you like, well, nah, I'm gonna need a few tune-ups. I need to see how I am myself. Devin Haney, what, 21, 22? He not worried about that shit. And plus, they heal, these young dudes, they heal fast. He don't have a lot of wear and tear in his body, so he's gonna heal fast. Gamboa is what, 39 years old now. Gamboa, his injury is gonna be something that I don't think that he's gonna be ever gonna be 100% again. So Gamboa's injury is gonna affect him way more than Devin Haney's injury. But like I said before, if I'm team Devin Haney, I still wouldn't want to put him in the ring with a Gary Russell Jr. right off the bat, because no matter what nobody says, Devin Haney has not been in the ring with opposition level nowhere near a Gary Russell Jr. Big, tall, short, or small. So it's going to be a much better fight down the line, because we're going to get to see Gary Russell get himself acclimated at the 135-pound weight division, and we also going to get to see Devin Haney come back from his shoulder injury. As far as Devin Haney getting Gamboa up out of there, I don't know. I see him outboxing Gamboa, pretty easily, just because I don't think Gamboa is going to be able to move around. I don't think Gamboa is going to be agile enough, coming off an Achilles injury. Like Blue said, Achilles injury, that's the worst injury you can have in sports. In boxing, you need to be able to use your feet, lateral movement and all of that in boxing. And fighting a fighter like Devin Haney, where you're gonna have to, stuck in the mud, you're not gonna be able to move like that. He's gonna pick you apart. Now, as far as what Renee was saying, I've been saying that, about how they were just not too long ago saying that Devin Haney didn't have power. That's what they were saying. They were saying that he didn't have no knockout power. He was a great boxer, but he needed to develop power. I've been following Devin Haney ever since he was, before he even turned pro, and when he came pro and when he started fighting on Showbox, they was always saying that he didn't have power. So now, since he got that one big knockout versus, I think his name was Moran or something like that, and then he got that one devastating knockout on DAZN, and then he came and he broke somebody else's jaw. You know, ever since then, they've kind of built Devin Haney as a knockout artist. You know, the fans have been talking like he's a knockout artist. Team Devin Haney, they kind of building him like he's a knockout artist. He'll stop all these guys. So he's going to have to go in there and stop Gamboa, because if he don't stop Gamboa, he's going to get criticized for not stopping Gamboa. You know, he's going to have to go in there and stop Gamboa, because to me, I look at Devin Haney as a master boxer. You know, but I don't look at Devin Haney. This is my opinion. I don't look at him as a knockout artist. He might be, but he got to show me more of that. You know, you can't just have one big knockout and then everybody just say like, "Oh, you just this big knockout artist." I think Devin Haney is a great boxer, athletic, all the skills, you know, and getting better and better. You know, he's only 22 years old. I don't look at him as a knockout artist right now. But as far as, you know, how, you know, the conversations that's been going on with the fans and you know, team Devin Haney, he going to have to go in there and knock out Gamboa, you know. That's the way I look at it. He's going to have to stop Gamboa.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Now on to the big week, Kurt. It's fight week, Kurt. Jermell and Jermall Charlo, some big fights,
Yes,
man.
indeed. I'm not going to stream it. I'm going to order pay-per-view on Friday. These are two quality opponents. I was studying Jason Rosario today. I think starting off with that fight, I think Jermell is going to knock him out, but he has to be smart. He just can't go for the kill. He's going to have to build blocks for a knockout, box him, and let your power come automatically. Let the knockout, you know, come on his own. Rosario is open for a left hook. That's his Achilles heel. He fought a guy by the name of Nathaniel Gallimore, and Gallimore knocked him down with a left and knocked him out with a left hook. And I've seen a couple of other fights where he was hurt with left hook. So I know Charles was looking at it, and his trainer, and I will throw a double left hook, you know, like he did against Harrison. It's always good to throw a double left hook, body, head, because they don't expect it. Charlo has a very good left hook. It's quick, short, and powerful. But Charlo can box. He was a boxer when he first started out. And when he found out, when he knocked out Charles Hatley and Lubin, he found out he's a puncher as well. So if I was him, I would be aggressive, but be smart, you know, because certain fighters, you have to be aggressive. You can't let them come forward because they build momentum. That's what they want to do. So you have to meet force with force, but be smart. And I think he's going to get Rosario out of there. I'll be very surprised because Rosario is big. He reminds me of Murky Sosa. He can punch, but he's cruel. You know, he's not really technical. So he relies on his power and his will that's his best assets. As far as Jermall, Charlo, and Devenchenko fights an aggressive man, always coming forward. You know, you look at the Jacobs fights and a Triple G fight, I think is not a good idea because that's what Jermall wants. Jermall has a shotgun jab. The jab will be crucial. Sometimes I think Jermall underuses jab. He has a very good jab, a strong jab, almost like, not quite, but a shotgun jab, like a Sonny Liston type thing. It's strong. I see him knock people down with jabs. You know, mix up his attack as well. You know, he can throw assortment of punches. He's athletic. Don't let Devenchenko outwork you. Don't let him outwork you. He needs to throw a lot of punches and go to Devenchenko's body. He's the more athletic, quicker guy. And I'll say decision, but I wouldn't be surprised if Jermall got him out of there. I'm looking for tough fights, but I think the Charlos will win. But, you know, Devenchenko and Rosario are live underdogs, so we have to see. I can't wait for the Charlo card to happen on Saturday. I'm looking forward to it.
Renee?
Yeah, I think I mentioned this a little bit last week, and I kind of want to repeat it as far as, just to refresh in people's memory. As far as with, Mel Charlo and, Jason Rosario. I mean, there are several things that, I think about. These things come to mind. Maybe I just think differently, right? But, when it comes to several champs nowadays in this era of boxing, a lot of the times, they have the belt just for a short period of time and then they lose it. And some of the reason to that is because fighters get complacent. They get a little bit, swimming in success, riches, fame, et cetera, et cetera. They start living that lavish lifestyle. They got the belts, we saw it happen with Andy Ruiz. We see it happen time and time again in this era of boxing. It's not too common. I guess I can say it's not too common where we see a fighter, a champion hold belts for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And we don't really know, like, as far as with Jason Rosario, we don't know how he's living his, he seems quite, not too open in the media as far as with his personal life. We don't know if he's really dedicated to his training. I got to repeat this, I'm saying? I think I said this last week, where Eleider Alvarez, when he fought Kovalev the first time, he beat him, got the belts, and beat Kovalev in an impressive fashion. I mean, knocked him out, man. Awesome stuff. And between the first Kovalev fight and the rematch between Alvarez and Kovalev, he got complacent, man. I mean, you go back to the rematch with Eleider Alvarez and Kovalev. I mean, it wasn't the same Eleider Alvarez. He got complacent. He didn't train as hard. You can just tell in the ring. And up to this day, Eleider Alvarez doesn't look the same. He got knocked out by Joe Smith. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it doesn't look like the same Eleider Alvarez. I'm not saying that's going to happen with Rosario, but that can be a factor. Why? Because Spence recently said, man, I mean, Errol Spence Jr., he noticed, I just want to read, this is a quote he said. He said, I watched his press conference. He's got some swagger. He's wearing designer shades, stuff like that. The hunger is different now, especially after his signature win. Talking about Rosario. Now, the angle that Spence is talking about, he's saying that, Rosario, from what I read in the article earlier today, that, Rosario's hunger is more. But at the same time, it can be a double-edged sword. You know what I'm saying? It can be a double-edged sword. Rosario he's living that lavish life now. It's not bad to buy things. Of course not. It's good to enjoy the fruits of your labor. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with that. But Rosario has to be very careful. You know what I mean? I hope he's training. I hope he has trained because it's this week. I mean, it's fight week. So I hope he has trained as he should. I hope that his hunger is the same as before he got the belts. You know what I'm saying? Before he got this amazing success, overnight success. That's the thing of boxing, man. Boxing, it can just, everything can change, in the blink of an eye with a fighter, automatic success. You know what I'm saying? Automatic, just off the top success and riches and fame, et cetera, et cetera. I hope he has the same fire that he had before he got these belts. I mean, that's a factor we got to consider, you know what I'm saying? So, but I think, Jermell all around, this is something I want to say too real quick. Okay. This is something that Spence talked about. He talked about that, that Jermell is going to come in and try to take this guy out. So it looks like Jermell, doesn't just want to win, but he wants to knock out Rosario. He wants to knock him out. He just wants to take him out. That's something that Errol Spence was talking about. So, obviously we know that Errol Spence, man, he's close to the Charlos. He hears them. He talks to them. They're good friends. So, I mean, I think that can be, I don't know. I mean, if Jermell comes in there and just tries to knock out Rosario, I don't think maybe that's the best thing to do or the best approach. I think that Jermell Charlo should just come in and box, be very smart as he was against Harrison, and, use the jab, box. And like we say time and time again, I say it, a lot of people say, the knockout will come naturally. If he just boxes very intelligently, applies pressure, but does it very in a wise fashion, I'm saying, a very smart, intelligent fashion. I mean, not just try to go in there and take out Rosario, because Rosario is going to counter. Rosario also knows how to fight back. So, I mean, he has to be very careful. That's what I see here. Has to be very careful. And we'll see, come fight night, we'll see if Rosario really did train. We'll see if Rosario really did prepare. But and then again, at the flip side, that's what makes this that's what makes this matchup so hard to call, because on the flip side, Jermell Charlo, I mean, he's always training, man. This guy, the Charlo brothers, they're always in shape. They're always fight ready. They're always there. So, I mean, it's just a hard call. But I got Jermell Charlo winning. but it's just going to be it's a close call, man. That's what I can say concerning that fight.
Keon, before we get to you, Kay.
Yeah.
Reg Lowe, he said, what's shaking Blue in the super chat? Gary is my guy, but I'm disappointed in him. His energy changed throughout negotiation, regardless DMV all day. I think they both wanted to fight, man. Smash the like button, man. We got 555 people. We should have 500 likes, man. Smash the like button. Get the likes all the way up. Get the likes all the way up, man. We got 550 people. We should have 550 likes. Patricia Shelton, peace and blessings, Queen. Go ahead, Keon.
Yeah, so as far as the Jermell Charlo Rosario fight, this a real interesting fight to me because as far as Rosario, I haven't seen too much of him. I hadn't even seen Rosario fight before until he was going to fight J Rock, and I went back and watched a couple of his fights. And one thing I remember him saying is that he had never had a full training camp before. All the fights that he lost, he had never been able to have a full training camp. Like, it was fights that he had to take on short notice and whatnot. So that could be a factor. That could be a factor. Now he's able to have a full 8-week training camp, be able to prepare for, the opponent that he's going to face. And, that could be a factor because we really don't know how good Jason Rosario is. But from what I've seen, I'm definitely going to have to go with Jermell. We know that Jermell has a stronger chin because Jason Rosario has been knocked out before. We haven't even really seen Jermell Charlo hurt. We ain't even seen him hurt, really. I can't even remember seeing Jermell Charlo hurt like that. Jason Rosario, in his defense, if you're not fully in shape, you're more susceptible to get knocked out, but when you get in shape, you can, you could take a punch better, you can recover faster. So that could be a factor. But, from what the way that Rosario fights, he comes forward, and he's throwing every punch with bad intentions. And being in there with a guy like Jermell Charlo, you can't fight him like that because, like I said, he has a strong chin. You're not gonna hurt him, and he could pop too, And so if you're trying to go toe to toe with him like that, when he catch you and he gets you hurt, he's gonna get you up out of there. So I see this fight ending in a knockout. I see, it being a very good fight, but I think that Jermell Charlo is going to eventually catch him, and when he catch him, he's going to stop him. But I mean, like Kirk was saying, don't sleep on Rosario either. Rosario is a very game underdog. It's a very good. So this is interesting. It's a great fight. To me, this is a great stylistic matchup fight. We're gonna see some fireworks in this fight. As far as the Dervianchenko and Jermall Charlo, that's gonna be a great fight also. It just depends. This fight all depends on what type of Dervianchenko we're gonna see come in the ring. He's older, so sometimes I mean, he's not old, but he's what, 34, Blue? Was he 34, 35?
I think he's 34.
34. He had he had a lot of amateur fights too. So, it all just depends. If he comes in the ring, energized and ready to go, shit, he could give Jermall Charlo a hell of a fight. He can give Jermall Charlo a problem. But if he comes in the ring flat, in the way that he fights, he's gonna be there for Jermall Charlo to, get off on. He's gonna be right there in Jermall Charlo's face. So if he come in there flat, he could easily get KO'd. So this is an interesting fight in itself. It's Dervianchenko. If you go look at the betting lines, he's an underdog, but he's not a big underdog at all. Jermall Charlo is not a big favorite in this fight at all. So that lets you know that even the odds makers, they see this being a very close, tit for tat fight, right? So it could be like that. It could be a very close tit for tat fight. I don't see Dervianchenko getting Jermall out of there because Jermall and Jermell, they got chins. I mean, if we have seen them hurt, I don't remember seeing either one of them hurt. I could be wrong, but I don't remember ever seeing either one of them hurt. So if anybody's gonna go in that fight, I would say that Jermall Charlo is gonna get Dervianchenko up out of there. But then I don't like to say that somebody's gonna knock out an opponent that's never been knocked out. Dervianchenko has never been knocked out before, and he's been in there with Daniel Jacobs, who's a big puncher. He's been in there with Triple G, who's a big puncher. And they weren't able to knock him out. So I mean, it's you got to look at that too. We got to look at that too. Jermall Charlo, he wasn't able to knock out Brandon Adams. And shout out to Brandon Adams, who hella cool dude, but he wasn't able to knock out Brandon Adams. So now that I'm breaking it down, even to myself, I'm gonna say this fight go to distance. I'm gonna say it go to distance, and I'm gonna say that is close fight, but I'm gonna go ahead and go with Jermall.
Yeah, something. I spent 2 weeks in Sergey Dervianchenko's training camp, and one thing that jumped right out, he's small, and I know we say and salute to my brother Jupiter B. He said Rosario did pull up to the media day looking like Nino Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, that money is something, man. Money is something, man. But the difference I think with Danny Jacobs and Gennady Golovkin with Sergey is I think that Jermall has better timing than both of them, and I think that Jermall is more durable than both of them. So I think he's willing to take more chances, and he's more accurate than I believe than both of them as well. So his style matches up better against Sergey than Gennady and Danny, because Jermall don't move as much as them. He imposes his size. He's going to impose his size mentally. He imposes his size on you mentally, right? Not so much physically, because he's so big, but he comes forward, right? So he's coming forward and he's accurate with great timing. Where Danny, is hesitant. Danny Sergey. So at times you look at the fight, he was hesitant. In the first round, he dropped him, remember? But then it was like there was moments where Sergey was catching him, and I think that he just, he just holds him in a holster, man. He don't let him go, man. He's like a bigger version of Adrian Broner to me. And Gennady, once he got hurt to the body, it's like after the first Canelo fight, really after the Kell Brook fight with Gennady Golovkin, the aura of Gennady Golovkin was gone. It was gone, man. Salute to Matthew Valentine in the building. Ben Israel, salute. Dre Day, salute. Breezy KO, salute. It's like, the aura of Gennady Golovkin was gone after the Kell Brook fight. When we saw Kell Brook, J.A., salute. When you saw Kell Brook have success against Triple G, that aura was gone, man. It was over. So these are big fights, man. And, the biggest thing for Jermell, the future is clearer for Jermell than it is for Jermall, because where do Jermall go? Because it's like he can't get these other big fighters to get in the ring with him. And we can't say it's no longer high risk, low reward. That's not the case anymore. It's just a straight up point of they don't want to get in the ring with him, right? Jermell has options. He has more doable options, right? He has the Lubin, Erickson Lubin rematch now. I saw somebody say, I don't know, I didn't look into it, but that Teixeira said he's willing to fight Jermell if he wins the fight. Kyle Bills, Cano Local Sports, salute. He said that I read something that said that he was willing to Teixeira was willing to share the ring with Jermell should he be victorious. I don't know how true that is because I don't even know what Teixeira was doing, and that's for Jermell's skill set against Teixeira, he picking up undisputed should he be victorious. I like him against Rosario because I like his style to be able to get on the inside of Jason Rosario, where J-Rock struggled to get on the inside, so he fought him at mid-range, which played in the favor of Rosario. He couldn't be too far out because Rosario could touch him out there, but he couldn't touch Rosario. He couldn't get on the inside because of Rosario's size and his jab. So he fought him right in the mid-range area, and he paid the price for it. Jermell has more power than J-Rock. Jermell is more precise. He's more accurate. His timing is better than J-Rock. J-Rock is more fluently with his movement and picking his shots, but Jermell at times could heave these wild looping punches. But for the most part, he's disciplined, and he's more accurate than J-Rock. So Donald now the 65-year-old G Grant, salute, triple OG, Alex Santos, salute. So I just see Jermell being able to get on the inside and land those left hooks like Kurt said. I think that he could land those left hooks, right? P-Town Slim said lies. Lies about what? Let me ask you a question. I saw Julian J. Rock Williams, who I love. I saw him knocked out twice. And like the brother said on the panel, when have you even ever seen Jermell buzzed? When have you ever even seen Jermell buzz? We saw J-Rock make mistakes against Jermall that Jermall let it be known, and Ronnie Shields, hey, he leans his head this way all the time. Nola Boy Sports and News, salute. He leans his head this way all the time. The catch uppercut is there all night. He threw it, he landed it. And they were saying that was there before the fight even began. He did just that and knocked J-Rock out. Right? Lifetime Ian, salute. And go ahead, Kurt.
And I'm going to tell you something, what people not talking about with J-Rock. J-Rock has the worst trait a fighter can have. That's mental lapses. He's too well schooled of a fighter to be getting hit clean like that. And then, with the Rosario debacle, there's no way in the world that he should lose to a Rosario. His former trainer, Steve Bretman Edwards, has a very good mind of boxing, man. He's a boxing historian. He's an encyclopedia of boxing.
Hold on, Kurt. He just said, now I want you to respond. I ain't going to respond. I'm going to let you respond. Clearly, he's from Pennsylvania, so you know what side he's on. But he said that inside and out, J-Rock was simply outboxing Rosario. I don't know what fight he was watching. I was
No, it wasn't.
two rows from the ring. What fight was you watching? But go ahead, Kurt. Just touched on that, Kurt.
No, he wasn't outboxing Rosario. Rosario, I didn't see that because I could see if he was outboxing him, that knockout didn't come all of a sudden. That's different. Rosario was building blocks for a knockout. You could see Rosario getting stronger, and the momentum was on Rosario's side, against J-Rock. J-Rock was fighting behind Rosario, meaning he was a step slow, one punch too slow, and Rosario took advantage of that. And like I was saying, J-Rock, he's a outstanding boxer, but I always thought something was missing with J-Rock. And I knew what it was. It was mental lapses. He shouldn't lose to a J-Rock or get pummeled like that. I mean, he got the brakes beat off him. And I like J-Rock, but he shouldn't lose to a Rosario. He's too well schooled of a fighter. And then he gets caught with the catch and shoot against Charlo. And I was surprised the way he got knocked out. That's a punch you catch a crew fighter with. You know, so his defense should be a lot better than what is shown, and that's not a good trait to have. It's like, let me give you an example. Amir Khan, they say he's fast and throw combinations. Why the hell he always get knocked out? Because he has mental lapses, and that's with J-Rock. You know, and I hope Erickson Lubin don't have mental lapses as well. So I'm just gonna be like, well, maybe it was just his performance was flat. But getting back to J-Rock was not outboxing Rosario. It was the other way around. Rosario was just hitting him with everything, man. I mean, J-Rock got pummeled when you look at that fight. I mean, his eyes was dazed, and I was like, wow. So, you know, that's how I feel about J-Rock. He's a good fighter, but he could be even better. You know, I mean, he looked real good against Jarrett Hurd. I guess it was Jarrett Hurd style because Jarrett Hurd is easy to hit. But, you know, losing to Rosario, man, that shouldn't happen.
Hey, Blue Blood.
Go ahead,
Can I
Renee.
go ahead and jump in real quick? I just want to go back to Jermall Charlo and Derevchenko. I didn't talk about that one. Last week, I was, you know, when it comes to fight week and when I go more in depth and research a little bit more, you know, the thing here is like you just mentioned a moment ago, Blue Blood, that, you know, Jermall Derevchenko is a smaller guy. You know, he's a smaller guy, and you know, height and reach advantage. Jermall Charlo has those advantages. You know, you go back to Gennady Golovkin. I personally think, like what you were saying, you know, the aura left him when he fought Brook. I personally think, you know, Gennady Golovkin, you know, you can see a difference when he fought Daniel Jacobs. He wasn't the same anymore. And that was years ago. And when he fought Derevchenko, Derevchenko was getting touched. He was getting touched, even though he debated, he lost. Okay. But a lot of people said he won, but he was getting touched up quite a bit by Gennady Golovkin, and out of prime, slower Gennady Golovkin. As a matter of fact, my first video on my channel, I mean, I got a small channel and stuff, but my first video, it's called Triple G, the King for Long, because I was doubting that, you know, he was gonna be, you know, up there for a long time anymore, as far as in the division, you know, with the champion. So, you know, an out of prime, older, you know, slower Gennady Golovkin, and look, you know, he was landing quite a bit on Derevchenko. So when I pan it out a little bit more, this, you know, this week, fight week, I think Jermall, he's gonna use that height and reach advantage. I don't think Derevchenko is going to land as much as he did against Gennady Golovkin. I just don't see it. You know, I think Jermall Charlo is going to use his height and reach advantage. You know, Sergey's shorter. It's going to be harder for him to go on the inside. Man, because Sergey, you know, Derevchenko likes to fight on the inside, you know, do those combos to the body. I don't think he's going to be doing that much with Jermall Charlo, man. So I kind of see Jermall Charlo really, you know, giving a great performance against Derevchenko. I don't see Derevchenko getting too much success on Jermall Charlo come Saturday night.
Yeah, I agree, man. You know, and like we're saying, you never see Jermall or Jermell ever buzzed. I've never seen them buzz. I never seen them compromise. We just watched the fight with two guys that are highly skilled guys, with Erickson Lubin and Terrell Goucher. And we watched them both get seriously buzzed that if there was just a little more time, they probably both could have stopped each other. The 10th round for Lubin and the 12th round for Terrell Goucher. Right? We've never seen that from Jermell and Jermall. Never. And they've been in there with some punches. But we never seen that. Because their chin I believe, I want to attest it to their chin, definitely, but their discipline on defense. Right? They just stay behind their high guard. They just always defensively in great position. That's why I feel like a lot of people thought Tony Harrison won the fight against Jermell, because Tony Harrison landed uncommonly amounts of clean punches, but it wasn't enough to me in the first fight. And I like Tony Harrison. I thought he had more success in the second fight than he did in the first fight. But we just see him land clean punches that you normally don't see land on Jermell. And so with that said, I think people Oh, he lost. You're not used to seeing these guys get hit that cleanly. And when they do it, they respond like boxers. They respond like lions. That's how they respond. And so, I think it just that's a factor with them that just gets overlooked. I think it drastically gets overlooked, man. And so I saw holes in Rosario game when he fought J-Rock. And like Kurt said, we saw him get knocked out before by Gallimore, right? By left hooks. And there was little subtle things that J-Rock was having success with against him that gave me the confidence to say Jermell could possibly stop him. Because J-Rock on the inside it was minor success, but he was having minor success. And I think that Jermell, once he gets on that inside, he's going to be able to wreak havoc once he gets on the inside. Because I don't think that Jason Rosario can withstand Jermell Charlo's power. Right? I have more faith in Jermell being able to withstand his power than I do Rosario being able to withstand his power. Well, go ahead, Keon.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. To me, when I see Rosario fight, he takes too many clean punches. And we all know the power that Jermell have, now. And you can't take clean punches like that being in the ring with somebody like Jermell Charlo. And, just to sum it up, that's what I see. He takes too many clean punches to go in there and be able to survive a 12-round fight versus Jermell Charlo. It's just, even when you go back and look at that J-Rock fight, to me, he was outboxing J-Rock. He was beating J-Rock, all around. But he still took some clean, hard shots from J-Rock. He took a lot of clean, hard shots from J-Rock. I think he was just the more powerful, more stronger puncher that night. And, we all know that J-Rock don't have the strongest chin. And like Kurt said, J-Rock, he tends to have mental lapses, throughout a fight. But Rosario, I mean, he can punch. Don't get me wrong, he can punch, but I don't think that he's on the level of Jermell Charlo. And then you got to look at, even though it's no crowd, but you're still on pay-per-view, you still facing the biggest, some would say the biggest star in the whole division. How's he gonna, how's he gonna react to this? Being under the limelight like that, having to do, things that he's never had to do before, as far as fight promotion, and that they're doing the stories on his life and all of that. How's he gonna react to all of that? So we'll see. But like I said, I think it's gonna be too much for Rosario. And Jermell Charlo, even though this is his first pay-per-view, this ain't nothing new for Jermell Charlo. He's been in big fights already. He knows what to expect.
Mm-hmm. And I think the fact that there is no fans takes pressure off them being their first pay-per-view. I think it takes pressure off them. Salute to my brother Keeper the B in the super chat. He said Rosario has a habit of low blows. Considering Jermell Charlo's temperament, do y'all think this will be a factor? If so, how will Mel handle it? Go ahead, Renee.
Concerning Jupiter,
mm-hmm.
Has a low blow. Concerning Jermell Charlo, do y'all think this will be a factor? If so, how will? I mean, just like what you guys are saying. I mean, I think Mel, he's quite experienced. I don't think it's going to really affect him too much. I personally don't think there will be many too. I don't think Rosario will be doing that. I don't know why, but I just don't think that'll happen. But who knows, right? Jermell, I mean, he gets lit up. And if that does happen, if Jermell gets a little too emotional in the ring, Rosario can possibly capitalize, man. So, but I don't think it's going to happen like that. But we'll see, right? I mean, I really don't got too much to say on that note.
Go ahead, Kurt.
Well, we all know that the Charlos are very emotional. They wear their emotions on their sleeve. It bothered them. They already had the experience, excuse me, of going through that when Jermall fought Karabev, and he was bothered Karabov, and Jermell already went through that emotional roller coaster with Tony Harrison. The first fight and the second fight, he used it. It hurt him in the first fight. The second fight, I still thought he won, by the way. But the second fight, he used that emotion and turned it into aggression, and it helped him to get the knockout. And I said, oh, okay, I see where this is going. If he can channel his emotions the right way, because I do like the aggression, because he believes in himself. It's confidence, it's aggression, it's all of that. He just can't let it bother his performance, and I think he's past that. And like Renee said, he's experienced, so he's been through that already. I really think that saga that night when Charlo lost, I really think it helped him. He was focused in the second Harrison fight, man. He was throwing punches with bad intentions, man, and he was composed. He was angry, but he was composed, and he got Harrison out of there, who's a good fighter. So he already went through that, and he know what to expect. And like they say, experience can be the best teacher.
Yeah. What's up, baby boy? What's up with you, pimpin'? My cousin in the building. And Woods, what's good with your cousin? Ashante L, salute. David, salute. Go ahead, Keon.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's gonna affect him because the thing is we all know that Charlo is hella emotional outside of the ring. Inside of the ring, I think it kind of it evens him out being inside of the ring. I've never really seen him get too emotional inside of the ring. I think he uses it as I think his emotion that he has outside of the ring and him just as a person overall. I think when he gets inside of the ring, he uses it into good energy. So yeah, I don't see that affecting him at all. I've never seen him get too emotional inside of the ring like that, so I couldn't really put that on him.
Salute to the predicate, Napoleon Armstrong, Cedric Walker, salute. So let me ask y'all this question. We all know this is the last question, then we're gonna get out of here because I gotta take my son to the boxing gym. But we all know Jermell has options. Well, two more I want to ask y'all. Jermell, and should Jermell get past Rosario like we all expect him to do? How y'all see? Because Lubin getting hurt on Saturday, to me it was like a telltale sign. I was like, man, because he couldn't. Terrell Goucher was having so much success with his jab, he just wasn't consistent with it. And then when he was coming over the top with his right hand, he could have landed. He wasn't as accurate. He wasn't throwing it with enough confidence. But that just made me think, like, if this was Jermell, I couldn't see Lubin winning that fight. So how y'all see that rematch going?
The rematch. So I mean, I y'all heard what I said. What was it, Friday, Blue? I was saying that it was a 50-50 fight. In the chat, dudes in the chat was Jermell gonna knock him out again, this and that. And now that I seen Lubin, Lubin won that fight clearly. To me, Lubin beat Goucher. Shit, I only gave Goucher maybe 1 or 2 rounds. So Lubin damn near pitched the shutout. But when I seen him get hurt, right, that changed my whole outlook. Because when he got knocked out by Jermell Charlo, I felt like, well, that shit happens. It was a blow he didn't see, and sometimes that happens in boxing. That don't necessarily mean that he has a suspect weak chin. But now that I see him get hurt against Goucher, right, and although he recovered fast, but he got hurt. So now I'm like, nah, if he go in there against Jermell Charlo, I see Jermell possibly knocking him out again, because now I think that Lubin, although he got all the skills in the world, he got fast hands. I think that he has a suspect chin, and you being in there against somebody like like a Jermell Charlo, once he gets you hurt, he's gonna get you up out of there, you know. So if I feel that if he gets hurt against Jermell Charlo, you know, Jermell's gonna stop him. So I would lean towards Jermell. I'll lean towards Jermell in the rematch. But if Jermell doesn't hurt Lubin, Lubin can win that fight because we see Lubin's skills. You know, he got fast hands, he got power. Um, Another thing that Lubin does that I've noticed in a lot of his fights is he. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Another thing that I noticed in a lot of his fights is he's a late starter. Even when he's in the ring against lower level opposition, when you know when he knock, even though he'll get him up out of there, he tends to wait late till he starts letting his hands go. And that's one thing I do notice about Lubin. He's really patient, sometimes too patient. I think that he probably could have got Terrell Goucher up out of there. I think he could have got a stoppage, but he waited too long to really start letting his hands go. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because Lubin, he got power, he got he has fast hands, but he do got some holes in his game on defense. I see, you know, when he does certain things, he tends to drop his head and drop his hands at the same time. And I noticed that, you know, he still, to me, when I was watching the Goucher fight, the same mistake that he made in the Lubin fight, he still hasn't fixed that. You know, you would think that he would fix that by now, but he still hasn't fixed that. And don't think if he gets in the ring with somebody like Jermell Charlo, Jermell Charlo knows that, and he gonna take advantage of that. So I would give the advantage right now to Lubin. But if Lubin fixes the things that he needs to fix, it's gonna take some time. But if he ever does, he gonna be a problem for everybody. So that's just my take on it.
Yeah. Before we get to you, Kirk, Renee, I saw him still dipping his head in that same position. Terrell Goucher was missing by this much, but he still was doing. He resorted back to that, and you can see it's almost like he thinks about not doing it. Right? It's Xavier Flores, Ben Israel, Combo Breaker 99, Davis, One Mrs. Dub, D Mac, Eli Zachary, salute to y'all. He kept doing it, and I'm like, man, and Goucher, I wasn't, it was, as the fight was playing out, I'm like, he's one punch. I kept saying to myself, before the 10th round, before he got hurt, I kept saying to myself, Loving Gaither, salute. Lawrence Williams, my brother, salute. I kept saying to myself, he only one, the timing, like, it was like, I felt like Terrell Goucher was going to catch up to him. D-Stacks TV, salute. I kept feeling like it's just a matter of time before Terrell Goucher catch up to him. It's just a matter of time. He got to be, and I'm watching the fight unbiased, but I'm on edge for Lubin because I want to see Lubin Charlo too. But as I'm watching it, I felt uneasy the entire time. Sammy Demise, salute. I kept feeling T-Man Ambitious, salute. Mark Fralin, salute. I kept feeling like it's just a matter of time before Goucher catch him. It's just a matter of time. And the 10th round came, I wasn't surprised. I was relieved when he recovered. Right? But I felt the entire fight from the second round on in my gut. I kept feeling like, man, it's just a matter of time. It's like, I don't know if I felt like he was playing it too close. You know, I don't know what it was, but I kept feeling like that. Brooklyn Ace, salute. D. Lucky, salute. Antho Lockhart, salute. I just kept feeling like that. What you think, Renee?
Yeah, when you know, I think I said last week. Thank you so much, Blue Blood, for inviting me last week. And I think I said last week, we'll see how Lubin performs, this Saturday to determine, a rematch, how he would do against the Jermell Charlo. I honestly, man, wasn't, on top of what you guys are saying, of the same mistakes Lubin was making, almost getting caught and clipped by Terrell, by the same mistakes he was making prior. I don't see you know, I wasn't too impressed on the fight against Terrell, man. I mean, that's just me. Maybe I'm out the box in what I think, but I was not impressed. I thought Lubin was going to really show up and show out as far as his offense. I thought he was going to do, you know, give more combos, go in there, be a little bit more aggressive, you know, because he's really skilled. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from him with that. He's really skilled. Lubin is skilled, man. I mean, but I don't know why. I personally think that it's in his mind what happened, you know, against Jermell, how he got knocked out, the magnitude, the way he got knocked out. I remember mentioning that last week, that the way, you know, Lubin got knocked out against Jermell, man, it's in the back of his head. If I'm not mistaken, has he been down before Jermell? He's been down before, right? Yeah, he has. Yeah, he has. So, I mean, those previous knockdowns that Lubin has experienced in his professional career, I mean, it has to be in the back of his head. Now, and that's why, I mean, it shows. Look how cautious he was when he fought Terrell. Look how cautious he was. You know, watching round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, I was like, come on, Lubin, you gotta put the, you know, pedal to the metal here, bro. I mean, you gotta step it up, man. I mean, and then in round 8. Matter of fact, me and Dalia were going back and forth on the fights, you know, on the undercard. Salute to Dalia, Antoinette, sister, queen. You know, we were going back and forth, you know, commentating on the fights, you know, just chit-chatting a little bit on the undercard with Ennis and, you know, the other fights. And we're up to this fight, and it's like, you know, these guys what's going on, you know? And then when round 8 came around, I was going to go take a shower. As a matter of fact, I was like, you know what? I'm done watching this fight. It's going to go to the 12th. We're not going to see too much action here. You know, it's going to be the same thing. Very cautious, you know. And round 8 came around. If I'm not mistaken, in round 8, Lubin, then he did start throwing some combos, being a little bit more aggressive. And that's, you know, I started to like it. I was like, okay, Lubin, continue doing this, bro. Even though I think he should have done it from the beginning of the rounds, but it is what it is. You know, and then round 9, 10, you know, I just didn't see too much. I wasn't really impressed. That's what I'm trying to get at here, man. I think Lubin, you know, all that, you know, being too precautious. I think he's just being too precautious because he knows. I think it's in the back of his head. The way he's been knocked down before, the way he got knocked out, you know, by Jermell. I think it's in the back of. I think it's affected him psychologically. That's just what I see, man. And that's why I personally think, and I'll just reiterate, you know, now seeing this fight last Saturday night. It's like, you know, I don't even think they should rematch. No way. If they do, you're going to see the same thing. It's going to affect Lubin. If he sees Charlo again face to face, flashbacks happen. He can have a little psychological flashback, and he'll just be super precautious, you know, very cautious. I just see Mel taking him out again. I really don't think it should even be considered, man. I mean, I honestly don't. I mean, you know, we're talking to Curtis the other day, yesterday, as a matter of fact, with Curtis. Thank you so much, Curtis, for jumping on yesterday. We're talking about it, man. And, you know, that division, I don't know with Lubin. I really don't know with Lubin, man. I mean, it's hard to call. So I as far as a rematch with Jermell, I don't even think you should even consider that, man.
Yeah, you're saying 007, salute. PLG Ski, salute. D Brown, Don Banks, Samuel DeMond, salute. Gregory Smalls, salute. Bella R. Tunnel Vision, what's good? Eric Ocasio, salute. Ocasio, salute. Thomas Moreland, salute. Yeah, man, that's my thing, man. It just like, I just continue to feel like it just was a matter of time, man. It was just a matter of time, you know. But Kurt, what you think, Kurt?
Well, Lubin has that syndrome that when he gets hit, his body doesn't react well, and it becomes a neurological thing. Terry Norris was the same way. Terry Norris can punch, Terry Norris can box, but if you hit him, his chin will betray him. You know, he was in a war with Troy Waters. That was a hell of a fight. He got knocked out by Simon Brown. You know, he got hurt a lot of times, man. Julian Jackson, he doesn't react well. And I see the same thing with Lubin. You know, Lubin, when he gets hit, he start doing a bus stop or the mashed potatoes. That's old school dances for those scoring at home. But that's not a good trait. You know, you see like Trinidad, when he got hit, he went down. It's a neurological thing because certain fighters, they get up. You know, but when they're hit with a jab or a right hand, their body does weird things. They just can't take it. You know, boom, as soon as you touch them, they're doing the dance. And I seen that in Lubin when he got hurt by Goucher, and I was like, oh man. And like you said, Blue, those are telltale signs. He's been down a couple of times. He got knocked out by Charlo. You seen how he got knocked out. His body, his nerves, his body went into a weird contortion. And when that happens, man, you have a low punch resistance. You can't take a lot of shots. We saw it with Roy Jones Jr. when he moved back down to light heavyweight. We saw, Tarver and Glenn Johnson. It's weird how that happened when certain fighters, you can hit them all day long and it just bounces off them like rubber bullets. And certain fighters, when you hit them, they start dancing, their legs betray them. It's, with Lubin, he's in a pool of sharks at 154 pounds. I would love to see, let me see, Erickson Lubin versus Tony Harrison. That's a damn good fight. That's a really, really good fight. But if he fights Charlo again, I think it'd be a matter of time. Once Charlo, it could be competitive. And that's how boxing is. It could be competitive for 8, 9, 10 rounds and one shot on the chin and from Charlo and hit Lubin. Lubin's out for the count. I could see that happening as well. So I don't know about Lubin, man. I got my eyes open because, you got punchers, you got boxers, and that division. I just got a feeling his chin is going to betray him. And he looks small to me. His body don't look like a 154-pounder. Look, he could be a welterweight. He just doesn't act well when he gets hit by punchers.
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing, man. Salute to my brother Robert Rowland in the building. What's good? Boxing and Barbecue. Salute. Vaughn Davenport. Salute. I feel like I missed Tom Woods. Salute. Real Talk Guard Grill. Salute. Yeah, man. My brother Matthew Valentine in Super Chat. He said, Lubin not ready for Mel, but coach urged him to be patient versus Goucher. Levels to the game. I agree, man. Mikala Banks, peace and blessings to you. I just don't see it, man. I like you said, Kurt, his frame still looked like it didn't fill out yet. Still look like he didn't get his grown man strength yet. And that was something oddly they was talking about. They was talking about did he come into his grown man strength? And he got a lot of power, but he again, his accuracy was off as well. Now I know it's hard. Nick Silvio, salute. Big homie Coop, salute. It's hard when you're dealing with a guy that's not active. It's hard to counter him. He's just standing there in a high guard. He's not giving you no openings. So I understand that. But, I just think that Jermell, I think, like you said, I would love to see him and Tony Harrison before going into Jermell fight. But I know you don't want to squander away the moment and the opportunity. So I guess you're going to have to take it. God's greatest. Salute. Smash the like button. How many likes we got, man? We should have at least 600 likes. Smash the like button. Smash the like button. But let me get one more thing, then I'm going to let y'all get up out of here. Jaron Ennis, man. Rafiq Day, salute. He looked, man, his ability. Now, they keep mentioning Roy Jones. I don't see Roy Jones. I don't know why. We've never seen anything like Roy Jones. Maybe Kurt has because he's more a historian. I've never seen anything like Roy Jones before Roy Jones. And I don't think we're going to see anything like Roy Jones after Roy Jones. Smash the like button. Get the likes to 600. Smash the like button. Get the likes up. 527 likes. That's not enough. Get the likes to 600. So I don't see Roy Jones. I don't see that ability in Jaron Ennis. I see athletic ability. I definitely see he's probably the most athletic, gifted welterweight right now. But there's a lot of comparisons with him and Terrence Crawford because of the fact that he switches stance from orthodox to southpaw. And the last guy we see doing that great since Marvin Hagler has been Terrence Crawford, right? But Jaron Ennis, to me, he put on, right? And Abreu came in purposely 4 or 5, 4 pounds? He came in 151, right? He didn't even attempt to make the limit. And he's a tough out. He never been stopped. And Jaron Ennis put on the show and stopped him, right? Now I know there was some distractions. There was talk of him being incarcerated, Abreu. But I love the but I see the ceiling in Lubin Jaron Ennis. The possibilities. He looked like to me more so than Roy Jones. I didn't see Roy Jones. Roy Jones he don't have the speed to have. I don't see Roy Jones, but I do see a bigger, stronger, faster version of Terrence Crawford, though. That's what I did see. So what was your thoughts on that? And I would love to see him and Jermall James next. I would love to see that fight. But go ahead, Kurt.
Well, Jaron Ennis, I've been looking at him for a while before he became known because of his brothers and his fathers. He come from the great city, boxing city of Philadelphia. His athletic ability is great. I'm still want to see more. Jermall James will be the ideal opponent because I like to see fighters that's coming up in the ranks fight different styles, punchers, boxers, movers, so on and so on. He has, like I said, the ceiling is great. The sky's the limit for Ennis, but it takes more than athleticism and technical ability. I like how he rolled the right hand. He did get hit, but he took the power off it and it came with the uppercut. Kind of remind me of Charlo and J-Rock. That uppercut was vicious. Will he be able to do that against better fighters? I mean, he's calling out Spence and Crawford. That's a whole nother kettle of fish. He might be getting beside himself because those are top-notch fighters, man. It's different when you fight those guys, man. You won't be able to hit guys like Spencer Crawford with the punches you hitting the people you fight like Abreu and Iboff and those guys and Fernandez. But just keep busy and keep fighting and learn on the job because it's a different when you under the lights, in big fights. So I want to see more. If he looks dazzling against Jermall James, somebody like that, or Sergey Lipinets, I'm just throwing out names, or you guys, then I would be like, wow, man, he's really for real. Because I've seen a lot of talented fighters that go by the wayside. Like Kelsey Banks was a 6-foot featherweight. They was trying to compare him to Sugar Ray Robinson. I said, what? And he got knocked out. His career wasn't the same. Or Alex Ramos was a Puerto Rican fighter from New York that failed miserably. Francisco Bajado, guys like that. So we have to pump the brakes. I know your brain believe what your eyes see, but I just want to see more when he fights top level competition because we don't know. It's different. We don't know. We don't know yet. A lot of these fighters are facing a moment of truth because I want to see how Tank look against Leo and vice versa. I want to see how the Charlos look, against their live opponents. So I call this, and boxing what's going on right now, I call it the moment of truth era because it's going to be, the truth is going to be told in the ring. That's why I call boxing the ultimate truth serum. Somebody might lose, somebody might not look as good, so we had to wait and see, when Virgil Ortiz fight a guy that can move, how he's going to look, a top-notch guy. He's knocking out everybody, 15-0 with 15 knockouts, but we have to wait and see. We be like, oh, man, this guy is this and that, oh, man, he's the part. I mean, he may look the part, he may act the part, but I don't know if he is the part, so I'm waiting and seeing because I've seen this before. I'm going to sit back and I want to see who we fight next, and we'll take it from there.
Go ahead, Renee.
Yeah, Ennis, I was talking about this yesterday that, Ennis, I love watching him fight. I just love it. I love how he uses the ring. I love the angles. I love the athleticism. His skills, man. I really, really admire, what he's bringing, to the welterweight division and to boxing in general, man. I'm really enjoying him. Yubov, you know, when you go back to one of his fights, he fought some guy named Yubov. I'm bad with pronunciation with these, you know, Eastern European, whatever fighters. You know what I'm saying? I'm not good with names, but Yubov, Baktir, something like that. Yubov. Baktir Yubov, he was more of like an inside fighter, you know, against Jaron Ennis. And he was clipping and landing shots constantly on Jaron Ennis, throwing him up against the ropes. Bullying him, kind of like a Cotto versus Mayweather, kind of like a Porter. And it seemed like, you know, no fighter looks impeccable all the time, in my personal opinion. They're going to get caught. They're going to get clipped, you know, especially when you fight dirty fighters, you know, especially when you fight those rugged fighters, you know, kind of like a Maidana, you know, also. This guy, Yubov, he was roughing up Ennis. I mean, I wouldn't say that Ennis was looking bad, no, but he was landing some shots. I was getting kind of worried in that fight for Ennis. You know, and I kind of want to allude to one of Reggie Owens' comments. We talked about it yesterday also, you know, that, you know, it seems like Jaron Ennis seems like he plays a lot in the ring, right? Even his coach was telling him, you know, to get serious, stop playing, you know, and what I do like about Ennis is that, you know, he has fun in the ring. I'm not saying he plays, you know, but yeah, he does play, but like he has fun. He enjoys what he does. He loves the sport of boxing. He loves boxing. You know, that's awesome about him. But, you know, he has to be careful. He has to be careful because this guy, Yubov, was landing some nice shots on Ennis. Yes, Ennis took him out, but he has to be careful because when you go up the ladder, you know, upper echelon in the welterweight rankings, just thinking of a Porter, thinking of, you know, he's already calling out Bud Crawford, even thinking of a Virgil Ortiz, man, even though I think he would beat Virgil Ortiz, but Virgil Ortiz is one of those inside fighters. It can hurt Ennis. I mean, up to now, Ennis hasn't seemed rocked at all. He has a strong chin up to now, right? Considering the opponents he has faced. I mean, he hasn't faced, you know, upper echelon opponents in the welterweight division. So we still got that question mark, you know, lingering around. If he can be able to take one of those shots, I mean, he did wonderful on Saturday night. I got to say something real fast too. Around round 5, I said this yesterday, in round 5, I think it was when he got hit, you know, low blow, hard, bad, intentional low blow, you know, on Ennis. You know, he knocked down his opponent. And then in round 6, because of that low blow, it looked like Ennis got quite emotional. I don't know, you know, I don't think it overtook him. I don't think it took over him, but he just went in to take him out. He just went in flying, you know, throwing blows. If you do that, if he does that to upper echelon welterweights, he can get caught, man. I mean, because he kind of lost balance, kind of tripped over his opponent. You know, all the respect, I don't even remember his name. You know, what was the guy's name Saturday night?
Juan Carlos.
Yeah, Juan Carlos. Thank you. He tripped over Juan Carlos because he was trying to go in there taking him out. He did, obviously. He took him out, but, you know, in round 6, but he went in there and it looked like he was kind of, you know, he was at risk on getting caught. You do that, you know what I'm saying, against the upper echelon opponents, talking about a Bud Crawford, talking about a Porter, he's going to get clipped, man. I think he can get clipped. You know, you're wide open for that when you go in there and just try to take out your opponent like that. I think he got a little bit emotional, and that's where he tripped over Juan Carlos a little bit, and he took him out. Wonderful opponent. I mean, I'm sorry, wonderful performance Saturday night. I loved it, but I do see some minimal flaws that he has to watch out for. You know what I'm saying? So Jermall James would be an awesome, just a wonderful. That would be a great step up. I even think maybe even a Josecito Lopez would be a great step up. Even Kavalauskas, Green Machine. Some people call him Bean Machine. Sorry, but a Green Machine. You know, Mean Machine. That guy. I think that would be a great step up. That would, because Mean Machine has power, but he has power, man. I mean, debatably. I mean, many people call it a slip. I think he knocked him down. You know, I think he knocked Bud Crawford down. I think that was a legitimate punch on the inside when Bud went down. So those would be considerable nice step ups. Josecito Lopez, Mean Machine, you know, Jermall James. Those would be great. Virgil Ortiz is not going to happen. We know that because you already know the story. Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya is protecting him. You know, they're gonna you know, bring him up the ladder, you know, the safe way. I mean, we already know the story. They're going to be milking the fight between Ennis and Ortiz. It's a little bit too premature. I'm speaking in the promoter's point of view, because that's how they do it. Y'all already know the story. But those names would be wonderful match step-ups for Ennis, and I would like to see that, man. I think he definitely has the skills, but not for top-notch opponents. Not just yet. No way.
Smash the like button, people. Get the likes up to 600. Smash the like button. Go ahead, Keon.
Yeah, well, first off, Jaron Ennis, he did what I said he had to do. If you remember, I said that he was gonna have to go out there and be the first one to knock out Juan Carlos Abreu, and he did do that. As far as the Roy Jones, I was about to say the same thing you did, Blue, because I keep hearing people compare him to Roy Jones. Roy Jones, he's the next Roy Jones. You know, he's not Roy Jones. To me, if anything, you know, he's more like a bigger version of a Prince Nassim Hamed or something like that. Not a Roy Jones. But he is very athletic. But I looked at this fight and I looked at him from a different standpoint. Because of how he was talking, how he was saying that he was, you know, that he would go out there and whoop Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter and all of these guys. So when I looked at this fight, I already had expected him to go out there and knock out Juan Carlos Abreu, because when I watched the press conference, I knew he was going to knock out Juan Carlos, because Juan Carlos, if you watch the press conference, he said he talked about how he had just got out of jail or whatnot, and he was like, "Look, I don't care about losing." He said, "Shit." He was like, "I know one thing." He's like, "This fight's not going to go the distance." He was like, "He's either going to knock me out or I'm going to knock him out." So that right there let me know that he already knew he wasn't going to win. You know, he was just going to come out there and it was just like, whatever happens, happens. I'm probably going to get knocked out. But, you know, if I mess around and knock him out, you know, I knock him out. So I already knew he was going to knock him out from that standpoint, from what Juan Carlos Abreu had said in the press conference. Now, when I'm watching the fight, I'm watching Jaron Ennis, watching everything he does. And I'm watching the fight, looking at him, okay, is he better than Errol Spence? Is he better than Terrence Crawford? Okay, when he's doing this, can he do this against Errol Spence? Can he do this against Sean Porter, Terrence Crawford? So I'm looking at the fight from this standpoint. And I saw a lot of things. Of course, you know, he's athletic. He do a lot of great things in the ring. But I saw a lot of things that he doesn't do right. You know, I saw a lot of things that he does that he would never be able to do in the ring against an Errol Spencer or Terrence Crawford or Sean Porter. You know, he does a lot of, you know, he does a lot of things with his hands down. You know, and when you fight like that and you spar like that, practicing bad habits, you're gonna do that in the ring, no matter, you know, who you're in the ring against, because you know that's what your brain is trained to do. Another thing that I saw with Jaron Ennis, and I know it might sound like I'm critical. Jaron Ennis is bad, but like I said, I looked at it from a different standpoint, just from the way that he was talking. Another thing that I saw him do, and that I see, is opponents are able to rough him up and get him against the ropes a lot. Now, if you in the ring with somebody like an Errol Spence and a Sean Porter, that's the worst thing you could do, especially with Errol, how he's able to get you up against the ropes and go to the body. So, yeah, you know, as far as the way he was talking, he got a long way to go before he could, you know, before I would even think about putting him in the ring with somebody like Errol Spencer, Sean Porter, Terrence Crawford, because he got a lot of bad habits. And as far as going back to the Roy Jones thing, Roy Jones had a lot of bad habits that, you know, that he did. But Roy Jones was able to get away with it because he had lightning fast reflexes that we haven't seen, you know. And Jaron Ennis is quick, but he don't have lightning fast reflexes like Roy Jones. So you know, he just got to go polish some of those things up and stop, stop practicing the bad habits. And of course, you know, I already know he's gonna do more things in the ring, you know, showboating and stuff. I like it. Like, to me, he entertaining. I love to watch fighters like him in the ring. It's entertaining. But of course, he's gonna do more, things in the ring against a opponent like Juan Carlos Abreu because he knows he could get away with it. But I just still think that he got some holes in his game that he needs to fix before he can get in the ring with that top A+ level competition. He need to go next and fight a B level fighter, B- level fighter, and then we'll be able to see more of how good he is.
Yeah, I agree, man. And T-Town Cruz, salute. I would love to see him step up in competition, man. But I'm gonna let y'all get out of here, man. I gotta take my son to the boxing gym so he could train. But any last words, Renee?
Hey, man, I appreciate you, Blue Blood. It's always an honor to be here with the panel, man. Definitely on your channel, man. Curtis Anderson, Everything Boxing, the chat. Everybody has differing opinions. It's all about that. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the love of the sport of boxing, man. I appreciate you so much. Thanks so much, Blue Blood, for having me.
Anytime, man. Go subscribe to my brother Renee Box Young. Renee, let them know where they can find you, where they can subscribe to your channel.
Yeah, you can check me. It's simple as that. Renee Box Young here on YouTube. You can also check me out on Twitter on my videos and my content. In the link in the descriptions of my videos, I have all the information there. You can find on Twitter, Instagram, and can I leave a link real quick, Blue Blood, before we leave? There in the chat.
Yeah, go ahead, no doubt.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, man.
So shout out to my brother, Power to the People. Shout out to my brother, A. John Rule. He said, random question, Blue. What are the best boxing gyms for aspiring boxers? Are Vegas and Houston top two? If so, what gyms right now I'm training and saving money? Kurt, I'll let you answer that, Kurt.
Well, Vegas, you can find gyms. It's not today is different in 2020. In the 80s and 90s, you had gyms on every other corner, and like in New York, Detroit, Chicago. But it's just different now. In Jersey, we still got gyms. We have the Elite Boxing Gym. That's where Shakur Stevenson came from. We have a gym called Dukas. It used to be on Springfield Avenue. I think they moved it. But Vegas still have gyms, and Houston too. Houston has always been a very underrated hotbed of boxing. I don't know all the gyms there, but you can get good sparring. They still have gyms, but New York is not what it used to be. But Michael Olajide has a gym in Midtown Manhattan. So I would say I don't know top two, but Vegas is up there. But it's just different in 2020.
Salute to my brother, Box Conversation, Reggie Owens. Go subscribe to my brother, Box Conversation, Reggie Owens. Keon, any last words for you, bro?
No, man. Salute to the whole panel. Salute to Kurt, the boxing historian, Renee Box Young. Salute to you, Blue Blood, the hardest working media man in all of boxing. I appreciate you for having me on the panel. And salute to the chat. And y'all go check me out. Subscribe to my channel, Everything Boxing and Sports. I'll be live later on today. And I appreciate you once again, Blue.
Let them know what time you're gonna be live, okay?
I'll be live, so I'm gonna be going live after BFTV. So whenever he go off, I'm gonna be on.
Okay. So my peoples, go subscribe to Everything Boxing and Sports, man. Right now, go subscribe to Everything Boxing and Sports. Go subscribe to Renee Box Young, and go subscribe to my brother Box Conversation, Reggie Owens. Subscribe to my brother I Am Ill Will. But please go subscribe to Everything Boxing and Sports, my brother Keon, and go subscribe to Renee Box Young. We got one more, Boxing Hacker. He said, "Hey, where's Batman? Is the fight really canceled?" I'll call Batman after the show is over. Boxing Hacker, salute to you in the super chat. I appreciate you. How many likes, man? Get them likes all the way up. Go ahead, Kurt. Close us out. Get us up out of here, Kurt.
Yes, indeed. Once again, man, for joining us, man. Blue Blood Sports TV doing big things. Shout out to the panel, Keon and Renee Box Young. My name is Curtis Anderson, aka Kurt Sugar. Shout out to the chat. Thank you for your questions, man. This movement we got going on is strong, stronger than ever, man. We come together as a community to talk boxing, man. The passion that we have, man. We're boxing nuts, man. And I just want to say thank everybody and enjoy your Monday night. I think I'm gonna go look at some old fights. So, hey, we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Sylvester Solomon, 2011. Salute. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out the new media. Shout out the Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all we got for y'all. Peace.
Peace.